moving towards positive action, we've got a talk now from two of our colleagues. Samantha Scogle completed a Bachelor of Public Health and Health Promotion at Deakin University in 2008. She joined the Continence Foundation in 2010, where she works on health promotion as an officer, conducting everybody's business education forums and work on special projects, including Pelvic Floor First, healthy bladder and bowels in schools and school projects. Janine Amakoda is a registered nurse with a graduate diploma in nursing, child and family health, and a graduate certificate in neurological and continence nursing. Janine currently works as a maternal and child health nurse at the O'Connell Family Centre and has worked for the Continence Foundation of Australia on the National Continence Helpline and on special projects such as pelvic floor and now the Healthy Bladder and Bowels Habits in School project. Janine has a special interest in childhood continence issues, and I invite them to speak today on healthy bladder and bowel habits in schools, the toilet tactics kit, the pilot results. Thank you very much.
Okay, first of all, I'd really like to thank Frances for the presentation, which has clearly demonstrated why the Continence Foundation of Australia chose to focus on healthy bladder and bowel habits in schools as a special project for 2011-2012. And Sam and I are here today to give you an overview of the project, but also to present the results of the pilot of the toilet tactics kit, which I must say was extremely successful, so we're really proud of it. Now, first of all, just the aim of the Healthy Bladder and Bowel Habits in Schools project was to increase awareness and understanding of healthy bladder and bowel habits in Australian primary schools. Now, we set out to do this in a number of different ways. First of all, by establishing networks with key organisations such as Life Education and Kids Matter to help create leverage and credibility and reach of the project. Secondly, we needed to raise awareness, and that we were doing that by developing networks with health and education professionals such as the Australian Practice Nurses Association and the Victorian School Nurses. We also wanted to improve awareness by developing a series of resources for health professionals and educational professionals, and of course toilet tactics is one of the major things which has come out of it. We've also developed an advocacy campaign to drive change across the multiple disciplinary areas, and we met and consulted with all state and territory education departments to inform them about this key project and also to let them know about the toilet tactics kit, and also so they can actually help us to promote it within their school systems. Now, today's presentation actually focuses on the results of the pilot of the toilet tactics kit. And this is a new and exciting initiative which is seeking to motivate children to adopt healthy bladder and bowel habits by empowering them through knowledge and education. Now, this is actually built on the premise that many lifelong attitudes, beliefs and behaviours begin in childhood. So if we can instil positive behaviours in the early years, hopefully we'll be able to help negate problems in the later life. It's also important that parents and teachers gain a better understanding of children's bladder and bowel health, and we hope to achieve this also through the toilet tactics kit. Now, toilet tactics is actually based on the concept of the bog standard by Eric in the UK. So early on in the project, we actually consulted with Eric and sought their permission to adopt their concept, which we're really grateful that they allowed us to do that. Now I'll hand you over to Sam to tell you about the toilet tactics kit.
Toilet Tactics is a fun, free, user-friendly kit designed to help promote healthy bladder and bowel habits in Australian primary schools and to improve or maintain the standard of school toilets. The kit is divided into sections for teachers, students and parents and can be integrated into classroom activities for health education. The kit contains a school toilet checklist, school toilet charter and information and key health promotion messages. It also contains a student survey, and this has been designed to give schools a sense of what the students think about the school toilets and their access to them. With the support of the Victorian and South Australian Education Departments, we piloted the Toilet Tactics kit earlier this year in 6 fantastic primary schools. The schools represented a mix of rural and urban, large and small, and culturally diverse schools. We were in regular contact with our pilot schools to ensure that they were appropriately supported and comfortable with the processes. The main objective of the pilot was to assess the user-friendliness of the kit and to ensure that the aims were achievable for all schools. So, what did our pilot schools actually think of toilet tactics? We were absolutely thrilled with the results that we received. 100% of the pilot schools thought that toilet tactics was a worthwhile project for their school community. 100% would undertake toilet tactics again. 83% stated that toilet tactics had raised their awareness of healthy bladder and bowel habits. 100% identified concerns with their toilets, however they had all made improvements or they'd had plans in place to make some changes to them. And 83% felt more confident in addressing continence issues within their school. We received some fantastic individual feedback and comments from all of our pilot schools, and here are just two examples. A very complimentary and no-fuss project, which was easily interwoven into health lessons. Toilet Tactics has been a valuable resource that has provided children with a rich understanding of healthy toilet habits. 4 out of our 6 pilot schools chose to involve students in the evaluation process. And again, we're so pleased with the results and the feedback we received from the students. 83% of students enjoyed being part of the Toilet Tactics project. 97% thought that all schools should do toilet tactics. 93% knew more about bladder and bowel health after participating in toilet tactics. And 93% thought all students should learn about bladder and bowel health. We received many comments from students that indicated that they liked learning about their bladder and bowel. They now know that it's important to always flush the toilet and wash their hands. And most importantly, they liked that it gave students a voice about any problems they might have without embarrassing them or singling them out. So, one of the really good things about the Toilet Tactics kit is that any school can pick it up and they can choose to use it in a way that best suits them. This was clearly demonstrated in our evaluation results, with each of our pilot schools choosing to take a slightly different approach. Here are some examples of how they involved their students in the process. One school involved their junior school council, who took the survey to their classes and assisted in collating the results and highlighting any areas of concern. Another of our schools formed a student committee from their SRC, who inspected and did a toilet audit. They also made posters and they spoke at assembly. And finally, one school stated that their school captains will present the findings and recommendations to the school council, and they're also going to write a report for their school newsletter. So as you can see, the results from the pilot were extremely successful. We've received some fantastic ideas and recommendations from the schools to improve the kit, such as including an Excel spreadsheet to assist with collating survey results. We're so pleased to be here today to launch Toilet Tactics, which we're pleased to say is now available to Australian primary schools.
In addition to the Toilet Tactics kit, which contains a wealth of resources for schools, we've also developed some new and exciting tools. One being the Continence care plan, which is a really basic care plan. As Frances pointed out, that children who actually have a care plan in place are often better supported than those who don't. So we certainly encourage anyone who's seeing children with continence issues in schools to complete a care plan. Also the Children's Bowel Diary, and soon to be coming is a basic understanding of constipation management and a fact sheet for teachers. Also a speakers kit for our state-based health promotion officers to deliver to parents and teachers in schools has been developed. Now we'd really like to acknowledge the individuals and organisations who have been involved in the project and the pilot. First of all, we'd really like to thank the 6 amazing schools who participated in the pilot and thank the principals, teachers and of course the students, and we're lucky enough to have 2 students with us today. Without their commitment, enthusiasm, the pilot certainly wouldn't have been a success, so we sincerely thank all schools who participated because it's absolutely been fantastic for us. We'd also like to acknowledge and thank the Victorian Department of Education and Early Childhood Development and the South Australian Department for Education and Child Development for their support in allowing us to pilot Toilet Tactics within their respective states. I'd also like to take this opportunity to give special thanks to Heather Ashmead from the South Australian Education Department for all her help, support and guidance throughout the project. So thank you, Heather. Now, I would also like to gratefully acknowledge the Project Working Party, the CFA Paediatric Advisory Subcommittee, Life Education, Kids Matter, and the Department of Health and Ageing for their generous support under the National Continence Program. So I'd like to thank you all for attending this morning, and we hope that you will all be able to help us promote healthy bladder and bowel habits in Australian primary schools. Thank you.